So, talking about leadership, I think that one of the most exciting and courageous leaders that we've worked with recently is a Vice-Chancellor who has done something which I think is an extraordinarily difficult thing to do, which is not just to deliver a new strategy for his organisation and to get the backing of both his academic and his administrative team, but to actually be brave enough to accept that after a year the strategy actually wasn't working because it hadn't actually been implemented. And when you're part of an organisation like that, to actually lead a big change programme which truly affects the way that those individuals are connected to the organisation requires a huge amount of bravery, actually. And it requires vision, and this guy had vision, and he did the whole business of getting everybody on side with the strategy completely perfectly. And a year later, they were all just doing the same thing. And he engaged with them and encouraged them to engage between themselves at a level of detail in which they hadn't really explored before, in terms of not just what the vision was, but what it would mean that they would do differently, what their targets now were, how they were going to prioritise, and in fact how they were going to work together in an entirely different way. And what was really interesting at the end was when he asked us when we asked him actually what he thought was the best thing that he'd done. And he actually said it was to write it all down, because in terms of writing it down, what actually happened was that they were actually forced to debate amongst themselves what it was that they were really going to agree. And what it was they agreed was not just what they did, but how they did it, what meetings they went to, how they communicated with each other, and how they engaged across the whole organisation, not just across the leadership team. And the great proof of the pudding was that this organisation, this university, went up 27 places in the recent university rankings, which was a fabulous outcome.